Hi, we're Phil and Marianne. We commissioned a narrowboat build in December 2022. We now have the keys and we have set sail. We are now cruising the English Canal network, exploring. Come along with us and enjoy the travels together.
Morning, it's Monday lunchtime and we're going to beat the weather for tomorrow and just had a short hop into Braunston. So had a nice mooring here just beyond Bridge 99. Nice and peaceful. A bit breezy. And the weather looks like I reckon it's going to change later. So we prefer to be in Braunston where we're close to stuff if we need it. So let's poodle along. Nice private moorings along here, got nice little gardens. Been a few boats moving today, but not an awful lot, has there been?
Not a lot, no.
Woolly Hat head today. I think this might be the monkey boat. No, it isn't. I was going to show you, but it's not. But I'll turn you around anyway.
You sure? Thank you.
Yeah, relatively new number.
Dear, oh dear.
Well, 3,000 younger than ours. Or 3,000 registered. We have a new addition to the boat. And it's up the right way as well. We checked. And the obligatory overhanging tree. How much longer that one will hold on for. Now is this the monkey boat?
Monkey boat?
The monkey boat. Ooh, ooh, with the monkey face in the window.
Oh. Sometimes you need to explain yourself to me.
Oh, I think it is. Alright, this one's a picture of me, and that one's Phil, and there ain't no more. Bridge 97. I can't hear the lady out playing her spoons today.
And we can go and see the Fender people.
Yeah. sign shows we're getting ever closer to Braunston.
Someone's been out putting nice hybrid blocks on the...
Oxford Canal North, narrow, and we're going right at the junction. We're going that way.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's east. South.
Bridge 95. Coming up to one of the most, well, it's got to be, apart from Hawkesbury Junction, it's got to be a pretty iconic landmark, isn't it, on the network? Really pretty bridge.
We can see if there's anything coming left, can't we? The Swan and the 7 Cygnets.
Nothing coming, is there? Yeah, hiss at us. It's your fault for being in the way. Two, three, four. No. Yeah, I took a photograph of that yesterday, that little man. Could do a repair in that, because we were up there yesterday, didn't see that broken.
No.
Something's hit that. Right, 2-day moorings along here. I'll stop recording. We're currently at the water point at Braunston. 30 minutes max stay. That's a bit ambitious because I think I could pee faster. It's so slow. So I've brushed off this side of the roof, got rid of the leaves, just waiting to see what news Phil's got to tell me. And now it's time for another of Badger's Boat Talks. Let's see what Phil gets up to this week.
While we were in Midland Chandler's the other day, we were thinking about getting the stainless steel hooks, and we took a look at them and we realised all they'd done is they had a metal hook and they'd put some weed hatch tape around the inside to stop it from scratching, and we thought, well, that's a good idea, why don't we do that? So instead of buying new hooks, all we've done is we've got some standard weed hatch tape. We actually trimmed it into 3, so we had standard weed hatch tape, we've trimmed it down to a third. It's self-adhesive, so all we're going to do is literally stick it around the inside of the hook to stop it from scratching the boat paint and to hold it in place more snugly. So I can get my nail in behind that. So it really is as simple as that. Line it up. Push it well into the corner. And then what I'm going to do with this one, which I didn't do with the first one, is I'm going to actually bring it round the corner so there is no lip to catch and remove the tape. So that will stick on there. And then all I'm going to do is trim it off. And hopefully that is a fix that will cost a few pence, but will stop our fenders from moving too much and rubbing the paintwork. Going to see if it works. Here we have it. Wonderful. For our boat, very tight. I tend to put the front edge on first. Lovely, snug fit. And that's it. Pennies. With a bit of spare wheat hatch tape. One down, 5 more to go.
We go for a Braunston walkabout up hills again. You can probably guess I'm not a big fan of walking up hills. It's like being back home in Dawlish. But we went for a walk around the village. We left the canal, walked up over the bridge and headed up the lane, which was called Nibbits Lane. And that takes you into the main high street of Braunston. We took a slight stroll up and we then decided to go into the local butcher's where we bought some lovely sausages and burgers and the biggest pork pie I think I've ever seen in my life, which was lovely. Then we carried on walking. There's a community cafe just before the butcher's, which is all run by local volunteers. We were recommended it by Pete from Plymouth, but we didn't go in because we were on a bit of a mission that day to get to Midland Chandler's, which is obviously the place where everybody goes by boat, has to visit. It's the law when you're in Braunston. Let's see the walk around the village, shall we? Just a couple of minutes walk up from the butcher's, we found the Braunston Chippy, also known as the Braunston Fryer. That's where we decided to have our tea that evening. We had mixed kebabs and Pam and Keith had fish and chips. The chips are done in dripping, beef dripping I believe, and they were absolutely yummy. Then we carried on walking down the high street. where we stopped briefly to go into the local supermarket, where we picked up a few extra supplies just to keep us going for a few days. Let's carry on walking around the village. Further on down the high street you've got the Plough. We went there that evening before we went to the Chippy and had a couple of drinks. Very reasonably priced, and they do quiz nights on a Tuesday, which it was, but the quiz master was on holiday for a couple of weeks. And also they do steaks, 2 for £30 I think, including a bottle of house wine, so not a bad bargain to be had. Then we carried on walking down the high street towards the iconic church, which you can see from the canal from miles around. Let's continue our walk. So here we are, we've reached the end of the high street. We come across the windmill minus its sails, which I believe is a rental property, if my facts are correct. And then we come on to one of the most famous churches on the cut. It was pretty, the grounds around it are lovely, and we head on past the church down towards the open fields where we go to the Midland Chandlers to have a look around. And of course you can't come away from Midland Chandlers empty-handed. Right, let's crack on and carry on walking. We now come up to the boathouse, which backs onto the canal. There's 3 overnight moorings outside of the pub on the cut, I think for about 2 or 3 boats. We did have a meal there, Just a note, it's worth signing up to their website because you can download discount vouchers. We were able to download vouchers and we had 30% off our mains when we went in to eat. And now we're coming on to Midland Chandler's, where we spent a little bit of time walking around and spending some more money. Shopping done at Midland Chandler's, we bid farewell to Pam and Keith. We were going to meet up with them later on that evening for our walk up to the plough for a drink and on to get our chippy tea. We walked along the cut past the water points and the Elsan, and we headed back to the boat where we were preparing ourselves to move into the marina. We've got a mooring at the marina for 12 months, which we intend to dip in and out of when we need to go home and visit family. But this was a convenient one for us to use for our first year on board, and we got settled in quite nicely. Let's see moving day. So it's Wednesday the 11th of September. We finally move into the marina. We decided to take a 48-hour mooring outside whilst we spent some more time with our friends on narrowboat Cooney Cooney. They were moored up further down the cut near the Boathouse restaurant. Here you see Phil. We had to wind the boat to have it in the right direction to get into the entrance of marina. First time he's really winded this boat since we've had it, and he did it perfectly. And then we carry on round. I stayed off the boat just to help, so I could get onto the end of the pontoon to help pull the stern in when we finally got into the marina. We're really happy with the spot we've got. We chose it predominantly because it was the end of a mooring pontoon. There's no shade around us, and because we're a parallel hybrid boat, we obviously want to maximise any sunshine that is available to us whilst we're moored up and not on the boat. So here you see Phil winding the boat, and then he brings it into the marina. Unfortunately, like a numpty that I am, I hadn't charged the camera and I didn't get any footage of him bringing it in to moor onto the pontoon, which for a first time effort, he did it really well. Let's just catch up with him in a minute. Fast forward a couple of days and we are taking our first trip out of the marina on our own. We've now said our goodbyes to narrowboat Cooney. We hope to be able to meet up with them maybe in October if all the timings are right, after we've been home for a short spell to visit friends and family. Hope you liked this week's episode. Catch us next time when you see how we get on our first solo voyage, really, out onto the cut, where we spend a few days relaxing. Bye for now.